This is a self-defense case, and the facts that come out of trial will support that.
The attorneys for Courtney Clenney, the OnlyFans model accused of the second-degree murder of her boyfriend, are backing her claim of self-defense as she faces criminal charges and a civil suit from the family of Toby Obumseli. I'm Angenette Levy, and thanks for joining us here on Law and Crime. Courtney Clenney faces a second-degree murder charge for the stabbing death of her boyfriend, Christian Toby Obumseli, at their condo in Miami-Dade County last year. Clenney claims self-defense, but the prosecution says Obumseli was a victim of domestic violence. Prosecutors say Clenney stabbed Obumseli during an argument in their condo in April of last year. The arrest warrant states Obumseli died from a stab wound to an artery in his chest and that he was stabbed from a downward angle. Clenney claims that she acted in self-defense when she stabbed Obumseli, tossing the knife from across the room, while the prosecution says she told inconsistent stories about what happened that day. The only thing upon which both sides can agree, Obumseli and Clenney were involved in a tumultuous and toxic relationship. A surveillance camera recorded the couple months before Obumseli died in an elevator in their condo complex. Clenney can be seen hitting him. Clenney is in jail awaiting trial, and Obumseli's family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against her, their homeowners association, and the security company at the condo complex.
The forensic evidence clear that Christian was not an aggressor in any way, and that there's one aggressor in this case.
We've lost so much beyond just Toby. My aunt has never been the same. She is marked with a sadness and anger and grief that will likely never go away.
Joining me to discuss this case are the attorneys for Courtney Clenney. They are Frank Prieto and Sabrina Puglisi. Sabrina, I'll start with you. Thanks for coming on. How is Courtney Clenney doing?
First of all, thank you so much, Angenette, for having us on here today. I've had the opportunity to really spend a lot of time with Courtney. I visit her almost every week. I don't know if you know, but ever since COVID, they kind of changed regulations, and people in custody are really not allowed to get any visits from family or friends, just their lawyers. So I'm really the only one with Frank where we've been able to go and see her. And as you can imagine, anyone who's in jail, it's very difficult. It's difficult to be away from your family, from everything you know, but especially for Courtney because, she acted in self-defense in this case, and she knows that she was acting to save her life, and for her to be sitting here patiently awaiting a trial, it's just difficult, as you can imagine.
From the beginning, Clenney's defense has claimed that she acted in self-defense, despite that now infamous elevator video that shows Clenney hitting Obumseli months before he was killed. That video was released when the charges were announced.
The state attorney has shown that infamous elevator video as evidence of what happened that night. What happened in that elevator has nothing to do with what occurred that evening when Courtney had to defend herself to save her own life. We've always felt it's self-defense from the beginning, and I think that the fact that the detective in this matter did not arrest her for 4 months while they investigated the case, it's very telling that this was a self-defense case. It is a self-defense case, and that's what's going to come out at trial.
If I could just add to that, Angenette, just piggyback to that, because, one of the things with that elevator video is trying to say that she's the aggressor. But we have various instances, and there'll be more, and it'll all come out in the trial. But I can just tell you of 3 instances alone, which absolutely show that she was abused, both emotionally and physically. The first is in Las Vegas in 2021, where she actually called security, and the interview of the security officer by police, and you can see it in the body camera of the police officer, he says he overheard her saying, "Get your hands off me." And when they got up to the room, clumps of her hair were on the ground. We have another security officer who puts in a report that when they went up to Miss Clenney's apartment, that they could overhear inside her crying and screaming and saying, "You hit me in the leg." And then we know just even 2 days before this happened, police were called and she was begging them. We see it in the body cam. You can see her face, hear her voice and the fear where she's asking for help. She's telling them that she's afraid of him. So there absolutely are instances, and this is all going to come out in the trial.
As I mentioned, Toby Obumseli's family is suing Courtney Clenney for wrongful death. They're also suing the condo complex's homeowners association, the management company, and the company that provided security, claiming negligence.
I can't speak to the other defendants in this case, the condo association, the security company, the landlords. But what I can tell you is this: that civil suit is seeking money. Okay, I truly believe the family is trying to make a money grab here, and it's the filing of this lawsuit was necessitated because of a change in law that was occurring. The family raced to the courthouse steps to file a lawsuit, probably prematurely, but this is a change in law that Governor DeSantis was signing that would greatly limit a plaintiff's ability to recover. Or actually eliminate the plaintiff's ability to recover in a case such as this. Also, I would add, that at one of the press conferences, the plaintiff's attorney make allegations that 6 calls for service were at that apartment, and they label the same aggressor every time. But what we do know, as Ms. Puglisi mentioned, is that on several occasions, Mr. Obumseli was the aggressor. In fact, it's on the body-worn cam that says he was storming at her, or he was coming at her, and that's exactly consistent with the statement she made to police. So the civil case is going to probably have to wait till the criminal case is over, but again, it was necessitated by the change in law.
I asked Courtney Clenney's attorneys whether or not they believe it's possible that Clenney and Obumseli were abusive to one another.
Angenette, we've said from the beginning that this was a toxic relationship. There is no doubt that their relationship got physical on both sides. There was substance abuse involved on both sides. For example, the Las Vegas video of actually when Courtney got arrested because she was covering for Obumseli. Obumseli, he can barely speak. He's so wasted. And I think it's like 6, 7, or 8, 9 in the morning. So unfortunately, there was a cycle of violence. They both acted inappropriately at times, but we can tell you that the evidence will show that Courtney was abused, that Obumseli charged her that night, and she had to defend herself. And, for some of the audience members that are not familiar with the specifics of the case, this is a one knife wound penetration case. This is not a multiple stabbing. This is not somebody that had, something against this person. This is a one stab case, and she called 911, and you could hear the terror in her voice, begging for help. So again, this is a self-defense case, and the facts that come out of trial will support.
A status conference in Courtney Clenney's case is set for July. At that time, a trial date could be set. For Law and Crime, I'm Angenette Levy.